Track CellBio's journey from idea to functional GMP instrument.
They're not focused on this idea of like, how do we get this into a system that is able to treat patients, which is not an easy task. It has to be in this very sterile environment. Everything has to be kind of closed. The materials have to be a certain type of material. And then on top of that, like there's all these like user requirements for the doctors. Like it can't be here. It has to be like this. And so we kind of had enough information to paint the picture for investors. And we went out shortly after the pandemic to investors and said, this is the data we've got. This is what we've been hearing. This is where we think the opportunity is. And we had talked to a number of strategics in space that were interested in this. And they said, if you build that, we're going to buy you. Yeah. And so investors love hearing that. So voice of a strategic, like if we build this, they will come.
Right.
So that led to our last round of financing and ultimately what we've built now, which is, hired this amazing team that's really skilled at building these types of tools. Although first of its kind in a lot of ways, like their collective skill sets kind of perfectly built for building this technology. And really in just a little over a year, we went from like Napkin to fully functional GMP instrument, which is ridiculous in terms of speed.
Was the fully functional GMP instrument created by an industrial designer?
No, this time we did it right. Yeah, no, hopefully you learn from your mistakes. We
actually talk about that a lot when it goes into, I have a manufacturing background too. And so, understanding that, when you're making one of things, it's easy to be pretty, but you have to figure out how to make 10,000 of that effectively or else things are not going to work right. So I laugh at when you said that because I knew exactly what you were saying. So.
Yeah. And, coming out of, we had gotten a lot of money from that round of financing, and I kind of built the budget. I just said, how many people do we need to hire to pull this off? We need like a couple software people and a systems integration engineer and double E, and like I kind of built the model that way. It was going to be like a team of 40, and I knew you've got these cycles of product development, and like we're going to be slow at some point once we build this thing. Are we going to be able to? And nobody wants to lay people off. And like, so you want to create a sustainable organization that's going to continue to be functional. I was kind of trying to figure this out. And then we hired some of the leadership first, hired our CTO and who is now, and another individual who's now our VP of engineering. And both of them just said, look, we've spent our entire careers using outsourced engineering groups. We know how to do this really efficiently. Like we know the difference between industrial design and mechanical engineering firms.